and our hot air isn't going to help.
No.
Hey everyone, here at Katie's Books again. Again, check them out. Buy their books, buy books from them. Send them support. If you use bookshop.com, you can choose to have your profits, the profits from your sales, go directly to them. Or if you're in the Kansas City area, they're a great bookstore to come to and buy books from. Cool people, all that stuff. They have stickers, random stuff from local people. They have a whole shelf for local authors, which is who I'm talking to here, Isley Rose of the Glitched books. So thanks for agreeing and showing up to all this.
Absolutely.
Like, as far as I know, you were the first local author that I know bought the books and read. And I found you at the Sparkling Ambitions event. Like, I wanted to get out, just be around other local authors. And your book, like, just glitched. You just had Glitched out at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, zeroed me in. You probably remember the interaction.
I do.
And I was just like, okay, Spartan Shield, what's up with this? And yeah, I just read your book, loved reading through it. And so just talk about books one by one. So where did you get the inspiration to just talk about bringing Spartans into the modern world?
That's actually not at all how it started. It started as in 2012 is when I actually wrote it. So it was pre-pandemic, even though the book is about a pandemic. So being a nurse, watching that go down was pretty scary. But in 2012, it was before that, about 2010, 2009, or around there, whenever I got the idea of this high school cheerleader was doing backflips in her gym, and it was like young adult. As you've read, this is clearly not young adult. And so that was back in the day, and she was just kidnapped by some secret government people, and that's how it started. And I wrote a few chapters just in my off time, and then I was like, no, this isn't flowing well. I don't want it to be about a blonde cheerleader. I want it to be something unique and incredible. And that's when I was like, oh, I wanted to be something secret, so I'll write the rest of the book. And then a couple years later, after the book had been written, I was walking to my car from work, and it just struck me, and I looked up and I went, Spartans. Like, there was nothing that I watched, nothing that I read. It literally just, as I was done with my nursing job, I was just walking my car and Spartans.
It was a random stroke of genius.
Exactly. So that's just where it came from. It wasn't even about Spartans, and then it definitely was, and then it just took its whole different life.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, that's what zeroed me in. I think I told you at the time when I met it, like, that was this. I was in early high school, late middle school when the 300 movie came out.
Yep.
And like, we grew up on the Discovery and History Channel, so there was all kind of documentaries about the Battle of Thermopylae and all that stuff. And I never took Greek, so I'm probably going to mispronounce everything. So
I had to do a lot of research.
Like, I know about this stuff, but pronouncing it, good luck.
Yeah.
So that was a hyperfixation for a while, and then I see that hyperfixation in a book really zeroed me in on it. And I think you did a really good job of bringing them, trying to modernize them, but try to keep them as rigid as they were. Because, like, through your research, they were the most fundamental, hardcore of the Greeks, city-states. And so along with your inspiration, why did you choose like an amnesia opening like in the Bourne movies?
So it's going to be really funny. I don't remember watching the Bourne movie, the first one, and my husband said, yeah, we did. So as funny as it is, I have amnesia about the Bourne movie. I'm honestly haven't seen or remember seeing the movie, so I can't tell you. That's just always how it's been.
Okay.
When I was trying to get someone to publish my book and trying to get agents, they were recommending different starting of the book, and I was like, no. So it was always that way, because I wanted to captivate people. I wanted to get people lured in and be like, what is happening to this person? Why do I care about her? And so, yeah, it just is what it is.
Yeah, no, it's a good opening, because I think blank slate starts like that are good because the readers learn about the character as the character is learning about the character. So like if you read Brandon Sanderson's A Frugal Wizard's Guide to Surviving Medieval England, it's very much the same way. Like, this dude just wakes up and pages of the book are scattered everywhere, and it's like, was I struck by lightning? What's going on? Where am I? And yeah, so you learn about the character as he learns about him, and that was one of the things I liked in Glitched was learning about Alyssa as Alyssa is learning about Alyssa, and the various different people you brought in to help her learn about herself and remember herself and all. So you kind of brought up a little bit, how much of your nursing experience did you put in the book? Because I remember reading through there, I forget what point it is, when Alyssa and her, and I'm going to have to put spoiler alerts when it's possible, so don't worry about that.
You're fine.
When Alyssa and her sister were brought into New Sparta, you talked about putting a device on a specific bone on the back of the head, and I'm like, that's a weirdly specific detail to give. I flipped to the author bio, oh, nurse, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So how much of that like influenced the book and the characters?
100%. Kai is highly intelligent. She wants to do the science aspect. She's more of the background. She's into the development of things. And Alessa, her first is Spartan warrior, but her secondary is in the medical field. So she assists Seraphine, who is the lead doctor. So.
Yeah, and you brought that a lot more of that in Shattered, which I thought was really interesting. Even the kind of Kobayashi Maru that she was given and solved that shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed too in Glitched was you changed the Agog a little bit. Of course, like there's supposed to be a dead society that went away centuries ago, but like, so the training, like how the Spartans originally had it was you had to sneak out of the barracks at night, kill a slave, and not get caught doing it. So like change that for obvious reasons. That's not cool, but like why did you change it to mortal combat between Spartans when they're already desperate for numbers?
So I had to make it so that their society would thrive, that it would be the strongest of the strong. However, I had to mold it around the beliefs that they wouldn't get rid of babies and, that like they used to if they chose not to.
Mm-hmm.
In my book, they're very much pro-choice, but that's only going so far. And once the child's here, like they have the battle when they're 20, and Alessa actually had it worse because she wasn't a Spartan, so they had it out for her.
They were trying to
basically trying to eliminate her.
Yeah.
And she was having to prove herself. Why in the book the elder kept encouraging her and reminding her, hey, you need to try harder than these other people or you're out, for obvious reasons. So that's why hers was so challenging. But as far as everybody else, they kind of base it off the level that you are. So if you have any physical issues, they would kind of put in a fighter that wasn't that wouldn't do so much life or death. And yes, they did have times where if they lost, they would have to. And it was mainly based on the history of it.
Okay.
And they did make enough children throughout to make up for what was lost. So
okay. And that's one thing I thought was interesting, jumping into the Shattered side of it, where you built out more of the modern Spartan culture. I thought you balanced it pretty neatly of like allowing for the modern lifestyles, alternate lifestyles, while still being rigid I almost said rigid Mormon, rigid Spartan beliefs. Because like you had it in there, like, okay, you can be whatever lifestyle after you procreate. Once you procreate, then you could do whatever. I thought that was interesting, balancing the two together.
Well, in ancient times, whenever people would battle the night before the battle, men were actually encouraged to get with one another, so that way they would have more camaraderie for one another, and that was their belief, is that they would fight to the death for one another if they spent the night together. So, I mean, really wasn't that based on that much being different. And then I watched the TV show Spartacus, loved it, oh my gosh. And then I grew up with 300, so just those kind of things that have influenced me, and I just, it's exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think you did a good job. I think you did a good job of like bringing them up to now while still keeping them, at least an inflection of rigid and like a form of traditionalism.
Because there's still like the hierarchy.
Yes.
But it is very much, it's not levels.
No.
It's one higher. And then they kind of say everything over everybody else. There are no helos, there are no slaves anymore. They're all on one level. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's some. You did a good job of balancing the two, because like Sparta was the only consistent oligarchy, while the rest cycled through like, what was it, like all like democracy. No, it was oligarchy, then democracy, then republic, dictator. Yeah, they've cycled through, but Sparta stayed as the only oligarchy all the way through until they all got conquered.
And that's why in my book there's a king of the East and the king of the West, and they work together to make the top decisions. And then right underneath them is the concilium, and then there's the elders underneath them.
Yeah, so. Yeah. I like how you did enough world building to make that still believable and throw the history buffs a bone here and there.
Yeah,
too.
I can't do high fantasy so much because I don't want to take half of a book to explain my world.
Yes.
But I did it. And that's why I like urban fantasy and urban sci-fi, because it's based off in the real world. I don't like that it is so much based off in the real world. Unfortunately, it's kind of coming true.
Yeah? Well, yeah, some things here and there. And that's where I thought it was interesting in Shattered. You had the sugar alternative, like wiping people's minds. I'm like, okay, this is going a little Alex Jones here. I'm here for it, but it's a little Alex Jonesy.
So it's funny that you mentioned that, because when I was writing, and that's always been the storyline, and when I was writing that, we were in Atlanta where the Coca-Cola factory is. And we were vacationing as a family, and they're like, we just made a brand new artificial sweetener. And I was like, no.
Yes.
I was like, and I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, even though my books are like, of course everyone has at least one that they believe in. But I'm not like gung-ho, it doesn't ruin my life. It's not like, I just really like the storyline. And just the fact that they announced that, I was like, no, like me and my kids will not be trying that. And not because I'm crazy, but just because I'm literally writing a book about that, and it's just hitting too close to home.
Yeah. I don't like how a lot of our modern food stuff is like, oh, this is engineered this is modified this. Like, that can't just be innocent. Like that's got to cause some problems somewhere.
I'll drink the Coca-Cola. Just give me the straight up.
Yeah.
just give me the crap, or give me the fructose syrup.
Just give me the diabetes fuel. I will not take the cancer. Anyways, so what prompted you to bring the Greek gods into your story as well?
That was not a conscious decision. I cannot tell you. That was not even a part. My books were going to be purposefully religionless. I did not want anything to do with, I just wanted them to be focused on the Spartans. And then it just happened. And it's funny because with every book, it's actually getting progressively more a part of the storyline. Like they're very much going to be involved by book 4.
Okay.
Oh yeah. By book 3, the one that I'm writing right now, about 60,000 words in. And it's like, they are influencing like mad. So, and they're taking sides, and it's crazy.
Okay, so it
was not even a conscious effort. It just flowed into the storyline.
Yeah, okay, that's fun. I had to separate it out. Like we'll talk about Glitch first, then Shattered. Now
you're fine.
Now we're being chaos about it. So,
I love it.
So the rest of the Pantheon is going to be involved, or is it just going to be Hades and Nyx?
They're the primary. Hades and Nyx are the primary, because Hades has such an involvement of this because he made the pact, like Alessa made the pact with him, and he is a narcissistic a-hole who is saying, no, you didn't give me what I wanted, and so I'm going to make your life a living hell. And she's like, I don't understand why you're targeting me. And he's like, it's just fun. And there's really no reason for him to be targeting her until you find out the goddess of night, or primordial goddess of night, Nyx, is like, is she who the prophecy is talking about? And at the beginning of every book, it says, it has a little snippet of what the the Oracle of Delphi is saying. In every book, there's getting 2 new passages.
Oh, okay.
So by the 4th book, you realize who or what they're talking about. And it's, every book, they have a new passage added.
Okay.
So, it's kind of like a little hint.
I didn't flip through and notice that. So that's a cool thing I'm going to be looking for now.
So,
okay. Yeah. Because I just like, when I read books, I'm like, okay, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen?
I like that theory.
Because like you are really good at leaving little hints and little ideas, like not good at suspense, but also like leaving little crumb trails, and like, hey, crumb trails. I should have said that more clearly. And like just little like teasers here and there, like as much as like I'm not a fan of like smut and like I can't just say romance, but like as much as I didn't like that, like it was obviously you were having all the romance, just the romantic suspense in Glitched of like, hey, he is important to her, but she doesn't. I know there's something there. He knows something there, but she has to find out.
Exactly. And that's why all those steps were very much necessary, because it was like her body remembered, and he knew, of course he knew, but he couldn't because he didn't want to accidentally kill her.
Oh, yeah.
Like, of course, like, but her body was responding to something that her memories couldn't. And that happens in real life in medical situations when you have amnesia and stuff, where you're like, I can remember where this is, but I don't know what it means to me. So yeah, my nursing definitely came into this book for sure.
Even the book The Body Keeps Score very much talks about that. Where like your brain, there's a lot of times like, well, specifically in trauma, but like specifically your body will overrule your mind at certain points to keep itself safe. And that was cool to bring into Glitched as well. How difficult was it to find a narrator for Glitched, and how did you go about doing all of that?
It wasn't difficult at all. I was watching TikTok and I fell in love with Amy Hutchins. She also goes by Amelia Hugh. And I watched her intently. And I remember the exact day that I, like, in my head, I was like, it's her. There was a TikTok challenge where women were trying to talk like men with the app that made you look like a man.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very hard to find someone to speak the opposite gender.
Yes.
Especially, like, I'm not trying to judge, but especially man to female.
Oh, yeah.
And just because the main character is always a female, I always wanted it to be a female, but I wanted to make sure she could speak the male parts believably. And when she did the challenge, and I don't even remember the exact wordage she used, but it was just like, get down on your knees or something like that. And I was like, you shouldn't have made me feel like that. But so I was like, you're it. Because she was so believable. And she can take on the personalities of anybody. So yeah, if you listen to audiobooks, it's incredible. And she's excellent with accents. Like, it's phenomenal. So, and she reads my books live on TikTok. So it actually collects like a whole bunch and exposes a whole bunch of other people that would have never, because I'm a little baby author. I'm just in the KC metro area. So I'm still trying to, branch out. And I know I'm not going to make it big for a little bit, and that's okay. I just want people to read my stories. That's great. But yeah, so just TikTok. So I'm really sad that, I hope the app doesn't go away, but
something will replace it. Like Instagram and Facebook, so many places are trying to have shorts like that. So and even like there's people. We're gonna have a thing like TikTok, even if it's banned, because I don't want to get too political. I'm okay with it getting banned because of the specific reasons why they're banning it. If they get away with the reason they're banning it, then it's fine. But so something will replace it. I say
something will, but I don't know that I'll be on that. But we'll find out.
We'll find out. Yeah. Well, as long as it's not like, okay, the Republicans go to this one, the Democrats go to this one. We need one where everybody goes, because like once you do, anyways.
Yeah, once you have the separation, I don't know that that's really gonna be a thing right now. I really only see it going opposite, but it's okay. It will all work itself out in one way or another.
Yeah, we'll find out when it happens. So, yeah, that was interesting because to me, like you can't be an author today and not have audiobooks. Just because there's so many people that, like, one guy I go to church with, he told me straight up, like, I cannot sit down and read a book for whatever reason. I can't focus. You give me an audiobook, I'll put that on while I'm mowing, doing other things, like doing chores. I'll read every book you give to me in the ears. But like I can't sit down and read it. So that was great to like get an audiobook for Glitched before you put Shattered out, and now you're keeping the ball rolling too.
So I actually made an audiobook because one of my really good friends, Katie, has a degenerative eye issue and she can't read. So even the biggest, like when you can get on the Kindle and make it big, even the biggest is like it would take the whole page. So she was just having issues. So I was like, you know what? I got you, babe. Yeah. And so I literally texted her and I was like, hey, Glitched just for you. And she's like, what? And I was like, I just can't. We all have disabilities. Nobody's perfect. We all have our shit.
Yeah.
We're all human. We all have health issues. So I'm not going to exclude anybody. So yeah, I eventually want to do large print, but it's just large print's a whole, because then you have to create a whole new book, and yeah, it's a little, and then you have to do the paperback, or if you want to do the hardback. And I try to be as thorough as possible. So that's why when my books come out, I do the hardback, paperback, and ebook all at the same time.
Yes.
I don't make one more available. Whatever you can afford, get. Like,
yeah. Well, and that's what's taking me a little bit on my first information book. I should clarify is I'm doing the same thing. I will have audiobook, paperback, ebook, hardback, because you want everybody to read your stuff.
Yep.
Like, regardless of what side you're on, what you're writing, like, you want everybody to read your book, so why not just make it so everybody can read your book?
Exactly.
Now, have you tried Atticus, the software?
I use Vellum because I have.
It's different side.
Yeah, I have. So Vellum and Atticus are the same thing, but just for different types of
software,
computers, and I have an iMac. So yeah.
So that's right. You have Vellum. It'll do the same.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love it. It doesn't have any glitches. I don't have to ever worry about formatting. I spent days on Word trying to format it myself with glitch, and I was just crying. And my husband looked at me and goes, "Babe, just try the trial." And I did it, and I literally formatted glitched in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just was like sold, because it's a one-time fee.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't have to pay for it again and again. I mean, I have Scrivener for my writing. That's what I use for my script.
I want to try that out or something.
Yeah, it's great. So I use Scrivener, and then when I send it to my editors, I actually have to export it as a Word document. So then I give it to them, and then they give it to me, and then I have to do everything in both things, which really sucks. But then I put it into Vellum, and then it's all a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah, no, like I forgot you used Vellum, but yeah, having like just that, I wouldn't know how to format stuff in Word, just because like even just using it for school's paper or whatnot, like, okay, copy this to here, everything's in a different font. What happened? Like Word, I like using Word for like what I use it for, but like as soon as you try doing something outside of like typewriter normality,
margins, and everything, I was like, no.
Don't forget putting pictures in there. Go screw you.
Yeah, it was so much easier, and it just was a peace of mind. I just had one less thing to worry about in my world, and I have enough.
Oh yeah, you've got plenty. Yeah, no. So like, what caused you to in Shattered? Why bring in like the big bad evil dude getting a conscience transfer and transferring bodies?
Oh, because I love Face Off. Is there any other answer?
I've never watched it.
Have you never seen?
No, I know.
Oh my God, Nicolas Cage! Like, oh my God. Yes. Okay, Face Off. Okay, let's discuss this. I'm a big sci-fi buff. Okay. I love sci-fi movies.
As evidenced by the dress too.
Yes, like I grew up on Labyrinth, David Bowie, like Goblin King, and then Dark Crystal. Those are my jam. Like, those are my people. And so when I go to like Planet Comic-Con KC, I'm home. Any Comic-Con, Crypticon, freaking awesome. I did that the first year. I'm planning on doing that again this upcoming year. I already got accepted to do Planet Comic-Con in March.
Nice.
So in KC, so it's panning out to be a really good year, and I just thrive. I mean, obviously, TARDIS, Doctor Who, sci-fi. But I'm sorry, what was the
the conscious transfer of big bad evil dude into
Face Off? Yeah, I love the movie Face Off, and in the movie Face Off, that's what like they transfer like the body, the face. It's the whole concept, and I wanted to take it a step further, where it was definitely not just the Face Off thing, and like they put in a voice box, that they actually did the brain transfer. Because in that movie it was more like a physical thing.
Oh, okay.
And I just wanted to take it once. I couldn't want to completely,
use somebody else's idea.
One of my favorite movies. Be like, but I definitely wanted to be based off of that. So it's just like a, hey, 1, 2, this is awesome movie. So thank you. Even in the movie he references it. He says, what is this, like a face-off? Camden does. And so it's like, I had to include that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why that reference is in there. But I just love that movie, and I wanted the bad guy to continue living. He was always going to be the bad guy. Kane wasn't even a thing.
Really?
Kane was always in the background, but I wasn't going to introduce him until like the end of the 4th book. Like he was just going to be like the guy that was just kind of there lingering, helping his uncle. And then I was trying to figure out what was going to happen with Kai. And then I was like, ooh, narcissistic a-hole, let's go that route, because I also wanted people who are in narcissistic relationships to be seen.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I guess I have a pattern of helping humankind. Like, I just really want people to know they're not alone.
Oh, yeah.
People understand what they're going through, because there are plenty of people that are going to read that book and be like, because I've never been in that relationship.
No.
But there are going to be plenty of people that have been.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I haven't been in that relationship, enough people are going to relate to that and be like, oh, yeah, I've been seen. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I thought that was interesting. Like, that was where, when I got to that part of Shattered, I was like, oh, that's disgusting. And I had the typical reaction, like, why don't you just get out of it? But like at the same time.
And that's how you know whether you've been in that type of relationship or not. Whether you have a healthy.
Yeah, but I've also like listened to, like, I have an interest in psychology, philosophy, stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, she doesn't know she can get out. And so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they don't. They trick them.
Uh-huh.
The significant others are like, I'll try better. I'll do better. I'll be better. This will never happen again. And it almost always does.
Uh-huh.
So it's just hard. And then she finally got to that place where she was like, okay, I need to be out of this. So I am proud of her. So, yeah, I am proud of her. But yeah, it was short lived.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, spoiler stuff. But yeah.
At the beginning of the spoiler alert.
Yeah. But I'll, kind of with that, like, why did you keep, I'm going to mispronounce the name, Brielle in the story?
Brielle. Because she's just someone you love to hate.
Okay.
Like, okay, so we have the primary bad guys, which you get it.
Uh-huh.
But then you have this clearly psychotic woman who is not truly in love with Damon. She just wants to control him.
Uh-huh.
And yet again, that happens in the real world.
Yeah.
Where people are in relationships, and especially, I'm not going to name, but like celebrities. They're in relationships because they want the control, they want the money, they want the exposure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she's getting with Damon, is she's being able to control him and do whatever she wants with him.
Uh-huh.
And he's the one person that doesn't want her back, so she wants that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's not done.
No. Yeah. You very much ended Shattered like that. It was like, oh yeah, she's just here to stay. Okay, cool. I wanted her out after Glitch, but okay, she's here.
And my narrator, she does the villains so well. And she's just like, when she says her voice, she laughs during her take, because she's like, oh, she's so mean. She's so vindictive. And my narrator is anything but. She's just such a fantastic person. And to hear her laugh after she's like, Damon, and then she's a sugar bear. It is the funniest thing ever.
Nice. Yeah. And are you hinting at Kelsey Swift as the people using celebrity relationship stuff?
Who's Kelsey? You mean
Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift?
Oh no, I love them.
Okay.
Are you kidding?
So
how dare
the only one I'm suspicious of is Kelsey, because football dudes do not have a good reputation of treating their spouse as well. And so I'm like, if that dude ever touches her, he's gonna have millions of people like out.
That's how you know that it's legit, because no one would ever.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. It better be.
But did you watch their latest interview?
I listened to my wife watched it. Yes.
Okay. See, if you watch it, you can see
it's genuine
how comfortable they are with one another,
uh-huh.
and how she has never before had that kind of love. And she's ours forever. We're taking her, Casey. Yeah. Sorry, like you're ours.
Just keep her off the broadcast channels, please. We want to watch the football, not.
Nope.
She doesn't even.
Don't you listen to this man? She is welcome anywhere. Oh, how dare they?
I'm talking to the NFL.
No,
she's allowed to go wherever she wants to.
But why is it so opposite? Why is it okay for men to be on? Why is it
okay?
But here's the thing: if he goes to her concerts, why are all the fans screaming and going crazy? But she can't be allowed on his talk. Okay. It's very sexist.
So where I'm coming from is like. I've seen stuff where she doesn't want to be on the cameras that much. She's just trying to be there, just support him.
Exactly.
And so they're zeroing the cameras in on her, and she's like, "They already showed me. What am I supposed to do?"
Well, no, I definitely agree with that. That they're making it a much bigger deal, but then the people on the side are making it a much bigger deal, which are then encouraging the people behind the cameras to make it a big deal.
Okay.
But if you go to the Taylor Swift concerts, which I'm assuming you have it, but if you go to the Taylor Swift concerts, then you see him on the sideline and they zoom in and they see her face and how genuine they are with one another. and their reactions to being just to support one
Okay.
another is so incredible.
Okay, I see where you're getting at. Where I'm coming from is it's like the NFL sees a way of making money because she's there, and so they're trying to make money off of her being there. That's where I'm coming from.
Exactly.
I'm not like she like.
So you're saying that she should be there, but they shouldn't necessarily focus on her being there.
Yeah, I'm talking about the NFL trying to monopolize her being there.
Monetize.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, yeah,
okay.
Yeah, she loves the dude. She wants to support him. I rock on.
Show her maybe a few times per game.
Yeah, like, hey, cool, she's here, just like they do everywhere. Like, hey, cool, the president's at the Super Bowl. Like, they're gonna do that. But like, zoom back in. It's like, okay, just stop. We get it. She's there. Can you stop? Like, I've even seen stuff where she's like,
yeah,
this is like the sixth time I'm on the screen.
And unfortunately, it's not her. It's not her.
Oh no,
and yeah, it's definitely not her. But yeah, no, they love each other very much, and you can just see that they're in such a healthy relationship.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
I'm so happy for both of them.
Oh yeah,
I'm also happy for us because if she hangs out here and I make it big enough, and I love cats and she loves cats, that we can become friends.
Oh yeah, no. She on that stream, she very much. You can tell she's just a genuine person. She's not a stuck up celebrity. And like you might not like her music, or somebody might not like her music or not, but you can't not like her.
Yeah. So, but you also can't not like her music.
Yeah. It's a lot of it's not my flavor.
I know. It's totally like you definitely have your own choice, to believe, to listen to whatever you want to. I'm totally cool with that. That's why I play a list for each of my book, and people can choose to listen to them or not.
When Lori, you met her, one of our friends, she loves the fact, like, the playlist stuff she listens through as she read through. But like, I'm like, okay, you have a playlist. Okay, cool, whatever. I just read through,
and that's why it's not for everybody, and I'm cool with that. That's why at like the author events and stuff, I usually have a banner that displays what my books are about, because they can get really noisy, and people can't always hear, and not everybody wants to come talk to you.
Yeah,
I'm on the spectrum. I also have ADHD, so I like to say I'm the best of both worlds. But I don't always want to talk to everybody. So the fact that people can read what my book's about from the middle aisle and be like, I'll circle back around, or, that's just not for me.
That's smart.
I personally like that, because then, first off, I don't have to waste my breath, and I don't have to waste your time.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Like, I'm down with that.
Yeah. And that's smart. And from my research, like 60% of people with autism are also have ADHD. So ADHD is pretty typical.
ADHD, sensory.
Yeah.
And I pass it on to my kids, so our house is just a hot mess and a half.
Yeah, it can get fun. So now back to the books. So this is a personal taste thing. Like, why bring a love triangle into Shattered?
Because I wrote a book that I wanted to read.
Okay.
And so Damon, this is going to be so weird. Damon, when all said and done, I realized was based off of my husband. He's more serious. He's calm. He's very protective. He is not so, like, if you think about Camden's more of like a golden retriever, and Damon's more of the German Shepherd.
Yeah.
And I base Camden off the opposite kind of guy that I would be attracted to. Like, he's funny, he's loud, he's rambunctious, he just wants to have fun. And Damon's more serious and like just like loves you with all of his heart, and just they're just two distinctly different people. And I took on not the love triangle because she does love Damon.
Yeah.
But clearly he's messed up in book 2.
Oh yeah.
And Camden is just there for as a friend. And it just evolved. And that's what I like about my love stories. I personally like the love stories that actually I personally like the love stories that make sense, that are logical.
Yes.
And that they evolve and they make sense. So when their sexy scenes do happen, it's not just they just met each other, they locked eyes and went, let's do this. It's, they had a connection. They were together for years. She's going through mourning, which is a huge trigger.
Yes.
Huge trigger. So it's logical. It makes sense in my tism brain. Things have to make sense in books, and that's why a lot of things are explained. And that's why when you asked questions, I love it, because then I get to explain it in my books. And And that's actually how we became friends on
Yeah,
Insta,
yeah, yeah.
was when you're like, but what about this? I was like, I'll explain that for you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did appreciate that because like if I'm known for being a little bit oblivious and like not I don't catch on to details that well. That's why I pay for editors. But
I hear that.
but like I'm noticing like wait a minute, I know somebody else. I know there's somebody else who's more autistic about Spartans than I am. So like, can you try throwing them a bone? You know, and yeah. So and I love they were like, you know what, that makes sense.
Yeah, and the question was, I even remember the question that why would they be okay with women and about the arrows, about the bows and
Spartans
arrows.
were very anal about like they thought ranged weapons were weapons for slaves and women.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that's interesting that they use almost primarily ranged weapons in modern day. Now, granted, you have to. The battlefield's evolved. You can't just shank each other all day. You have to use ranged weapons now. But I was curious how you adapted that into their philosophy, where they would justify it.
And weapons. Oh my God, the weapons.
Oh yeah.
Trying to create sci-fi weapons is not my favorite part. And
No.
dance scenes. Dance scenes, because with our brains, I have to picture it. I literally make up the dance moves and I dance to the music, to the exact beat in my living room.
Oh, okay.
And so I have the whole dance down, but then I have to think, oh, now I have to describe it. That is the worst, probably. Dance scenes. Because it's so monotonous and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, no, I haven't even got that. There, like in my first novel, there is like a dance scene, but I just feel like they kind of just do this, and like she just follows him, and he kind of does this, and like I left it. Even like the dress idea I had for the girl to wear for that situation, I had to like sit there, sketchpad, draw it out, and then take a picture, send it to some friends. How do you describe this?
What I do is I actually find pictures on Pinterest. So So like I look up Greek or Roman dresses, and then I find like what I'm into, and then I take pictures. Like that's how I actually did all their dresses. Alessa's dress in that picture is a real dress.
From those times?
No, that's just a real dress that I found on Pinterest. And so I made it black. It was dark blue. So I have it saved on my boards. And then Seraphine, her dress is on Pinterest. The suit, obviously, I just told her a suit. And then the warriors, I sent a kind of mashup of different ideas.
Okay.
So yeah.
That kind of brought to
Well, I like that. I made you think of more.
No, it was okay. Okay, two of the things. Like I thought it was interesting in Shattered. You had her use a bow and arrow. But like just bow and arrow in modern times is a fairly ineffective weapon unless it's like a stealth mission or whatnot. So like, why not put like C4 or shrapnel in the shaft?
It depends on the reasoning behind it, because you have to be careful. This is the nurse in me. You have to be careful with projectiles. And so if they have to be able to address everybody in the room who's a Spartan, be like, get down or something. So that's why in the parts like when the acid rained down, she was able to be like, take cover. So you can't do that with everything because they're all in the middle of a fight, or else every 2 seconds they'd be taking a break.
So you wanted it more controlled rather than a Rambo.
Well, and it is very historic, and I did want to keep some relevancy to that. So
yeah, no, I appreciate it. Archery was one of the first loves I had it with. It got me into a lot of my marksmanship hobbies. But
my kid does archery too.
What?
My kid does archery too.
I noticed that. Yeah, I love it. I kind of got out of it for a while because it's unless you pay for a range, it's a little difficult to just do that anywhere.
Yeah, we do that
because there's safety reasons, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I even have a PVC bow that I had made. I just need to string it.
Nice. We just bought one. We bought a mini Genesis.
Oh yeah, those are good bows.
Yeah.
I of course getting the one like I would use and be comfortable with. It's like a lot pretty expensive, but the Genesis,
My kid's what, 9?
Oh yeah.
A little bit different.
Yeah, no, you're not spending that on them, but yeah, it's. I just had that idea from like why wouldn't they modernize the arrows, or like I could see it using it as like a door breaching tool, like you throw it in and it dooms the lock or stuff. But yeah, I was just thinking like just a straight arrow. It was a little off to me.
Yeah, and in book 3, she actually uses arrows as well, but it's her like that's, you know how everyone kind of has that one thing, like you have a coping mechanism. Yeah, and that was her. She loves bows and arrows.
Yeah, and you introduced that in Glitched and then brought it more so into Shattered.
Yep.
because her and her veteran friend, she would use arrow, like bow and arrow, and he's just shooting stuff in this building. But yeah, so you brought that in. I just want to throw that out because I when you were detailing that op, I was like, that's weird to just have an arrow.
Yep.
But there's also some stuff you could do with technology. Have you heard of an overdraw?
Yeah.
I was wondering if you use an overdraw to double propel it or something like that.
Yeah, trust me, there's so much and so many more fight scenes.
Okay.
Because the book 3 is about the frenzied, and it's about the side effect that comes from the artificial sweetener. So if you ever read Maze Runners, how they have the virus that turns into basically living zombies, then that's basically what happens to them. Is it targets their part of the brain that controls emotion, and it sparks everything on. So they have no control over emotion, nothing. It just takes over everything, and if you could feel everything at all times, it would be overpowering and enraging. So that's the most powerful of all emotions.
I was thinking just like rabies kind of stuff, but
nope,
fairly similar. Okay.
Yep, frenzied. It gets dark.
Okay.
So yeah, book 3 will definitely be more Crypticon era.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have no problem with dark stuff. One of my favorite series I listened to this year. I found out about Kagan the Damned series by Jonathan Mayberry. It's very much, dark fantasy. It's on Spotify audiobook stuff. Really showed me because you see a lot of people. I write dark fantasy. So do people just die in a fictional world? Like, what does that mean? But like that one really showed because it was like really showed me because it was very much like this dude woke up and like the world's on fire. He's like, what? And like
28 days later, how he wakes up in the hospital.
But he's like the protector of the royal children. He's like, I'm like a mile away from them. I have to get to the children. But like he goes outside and the whole city's under attack. He's like, I went to sleep 2 minutes ago. What happened? And it's to me it's a very good fantasy series. You find out it's actually set thousands of years in the future. It's just we wiped ourselves out, Ice Age, and then humanity reformed again with magic and like the gods, and like he hints at he even brought in the Eldritch gods because Hastur is in there, and Cthulhu is briefly mentioned, kind of in and out. It's a really cool series, but that's what really showed me what dark fantasy is. And back with Seraphina and Quaid, I was curious when you're going to bring in the come back with your shield and come back on it. Like I thought that from what I had read, that was only said between spouses. I didn't know if I hadn't seen if or when generals said that. So
it's just more of a loving. It's just meant to be an encouraging thing to say. It's saying go kick ass or don't come home at all.
Yeah. Well, that was the Spartan. This Spartan proverb was: if you go to war to die, you will come home alive. If you go to war to survive, you will die. That was very much their philosophy.
Yeah, and obviously dying in war is their greatest honor that they could have. So yeah, it was
the only way the men could get a gravestone. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're not quite that brutal, but they definitely do have like the buried in the ground and the tombstones.
Yeah. You modernized it because you kind of showed in there how they're like, oh, we can't be this rigid anymore. We have to adapt. Yes. But we can't leave that behind either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What caused you in Shatter to bring mind control into Damon? Like mind control Damon.
So I always knew that he wasn't going to be with Alessa for a reason. But in the beginning, it was just chivalry. And I was like, that's not good enough. That's not hitting home enough. And that's not Damon. He would have easily dropped everything to be with her. So it had to happen like that.
Okay.
And then it actually was really good because that gave me a reason for what happens in book 4.
Okay.
So it kind of all connects together. And because there's going to be 4 books. So from the beginning to the end, I kind of have like this flow of what happens and when and why. So
yeah.
It's all interlaced.
Well, it did add additional conflict to it. And you did a really good job like you did in the first book of like, his body's remembering, but his mind is like, why is this a thing? Why is this happening?
And he's trying to fight it. That's why towards the end of the book, she's like, I don't have control over him anymore. And his brain is starting to like work out the logistics of it. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't logical. What's happening to
Yeah,
me?
yeah. And you wrote that in pretty good. That's one of the things I liked about it. Is, well, like I'm not one for love triangles, and there's stuff I didn't like. Like, okay, I see how that adds in here. I see how that's I can chalk it up to a taste thing. Like, it doesn't.
No, but I really appreciate you reading this when this isn't your typical, it's not for everybody. And the fact that you still enjoyed the book, even with that in there, well done. You put yourself out there, and that means a lot to us authors.
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to try it's golden rule. Like, I want to treat other authors how I would like to be treated. And like, I'm not, just because I don't like a thing doesn't mean I'm not going to read the book. There's obviously exceptions to it, but like I can focus in on, okay, I like the story as it is, and I like where you're going with the characters, everything, but like, okay, I'm not one for smut. I can overlook that. Right. But like, at the same time, I'm not going to read ACOTAR because I'm not going to read fairy porn for 7 books?
I tried to read the first book, and it's just not it's too much world. It's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's too high fantasy for me. I can't do the high fantasy.
So you're not going to read the Stormlight Archive or the Wheel of Time?
No. It's too hard. My brain has too much happening.
Something has to be happening, right?
It has to be more based on the real world, and
okay.
Yeah, but I don't. And there are some books like Lights Out I loved, and it is primarily the hibbity dibbity, and I enjoy having books that have that in it, but don't have it that it doesn't make sense. Like I said, or I've already said, I like that connection. And I mean, I have 4 boys, clearly.
Yeah.
I like doing it. I like having sex.
It's human.
Right. It's just part of human nature to crave that. And the great thing about my book is that it's together. It's not spread out throughout the entire book. So if you don't feel comfortable with those scenes, people could easily skip over them.
Oh yeah.
And be like, oh, they did it.
Yeah.
And then be fine and move on. And then the rest of the book is there for them.
Yeah.
And I am no judgment for anybody who loves that. And that's totally cool. But those who do love the scenes like I do, and I find that I write them very well, then it is there for them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's one of the things. Like when I posted the review for Glitched, I was kind of like, should I list that out? How is she going to take it?
No,
and you were just like, yep, that's what it is. You want to read it? I was like, okay, that's a good way of running with it.
No, and I will never judge any human being for wanting something different or disagreeing or anything. I'm just glad people are giving me a chance, and that's all I ask. And I think it's fantastic. Even people that leave one-star reviews, I'm like, thank you for reading it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't find that's always the case, and it brings down your rating, but that's fine. Like, if I say what my book's about and you think it's cool, try it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, then that's perfectly fine.
Now, the best 1-star review I read was so, I want to call it white privilege. It was for Eragon. I don't know if you've read that series.
I have, and I love it.
Yeah.
I haven't read the newest book in the series.
Motag?
Yes.
It's good. I just feel like he crash landed the book.
Oh, just because the other ones.
Well, it almost feels like he got Stephen King in it, and he got lost in his own story. And he's like, "Wait, this is 800 pages long. I need to end it." It ends. So like Stephen King ends his books.
Yeah.
So, but it's good other than that. And that's where I got lost in Brissinger. I'm like, okay, Brissinger was so world building. I was like,
so good.
Okay, so he's trying to find a sword. Okay, can you give him a sword already? But like, on Goodreads, I saw somebody gave a 1-star review to Eragon, and it was so. Now the guy has half a point where it's like, you could tell Paolini wrote it when he was 16 because it was very much Star Wars with this. And there's obvious
immature
references,
that's okay.
But like this dude was like saying the book is worthless, saying it helps to get your book published when your parents run a publishing, and he was just so like backhanded, like real stuffy and all this, like, oh, these epics. I'm like, dude, if you just want to read the epics, read the epics. Don't but like, I'm like, people who see that are gonna go, well, he's the problem here.
Yeah, well, so Glitched has the lowest rating it's gotten is a few 2 stars, and then Shattered, I think the lowest is a 3, and I'm totally okay with all of the above. Like, I love it. I'm totally, and like I said, it's not for everybody.
Mhm.
Not everybody likes violent scenes. Not everybody likes sexy scenes. Not everybody likes the idea of women kicking ass and taking charge. I mean, it's just, and then book 3 is probably going to be banned because of this subject matter.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll be on the ban list and I'll be on someone's t-shirt. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, I don't think any. I'm gonna say I don't think any books should be banned. Like even like Mein Kampf. Like
questionable.
I want bad stuff out there so we can see why it's bad. And like and if you buy and if you're indoctrinated by this stuff and you buy into it, that's on you for not having enough brains to understand it. Now, obviously, if there's stuff of like, if there's stuff like, I don't know, how to get away with your neighbor, there's obviously problems with that.
Yeah.
And like, you should probably limit where that is distributed.
Like, you mean like a biography?
Yeah. If you're a handbook to bad thing, like, okay, but like, yeah, it's even I found in books that I don't agree with, like morally, philosophically, like, okay, like I'm not one to ban. I'll just tell somebody, hey, if you're going to read that book, just know about this. And to me, if we can all understand stuff like that, like, hey, that's good. Hey, this book has this, and this, just heads up. Or like, very few people fly into Akatar blind, and go, whoa, what is this? Like, everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
That book has a reputation. Everybody knows. So, yeah, and so back to Shattered. That was an interesting plot twist of killing the wrong person in the fight. What was that? Just you being Chaos Demon, or like what brought that in?
That was Hades.
Okay.
He said, "You did not bring me the person that you promised. So now, if you make the decision not to kill him, there's going to be a moment in time that it's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
You either decide to kill him, or something bad's going to happen to someone that you love, to the one person that you can't live with your life without." So when he said that, that was her. And then when they were in the glass room on the outside, and she had the opportunity to shoot him, but she heard Kai scream. That's the moment that it was decided that it was going to be Kai.
I thought a bodyguard got him out of the way in the wrong time.
Nope.
Okay. I'm remembering wrong, because how I remembered it, like, she shot and effectively missed. And Hades was blaming her on missing.
It's because she didn't shoot at the right time.
Okay.
That time was when Hades said that there's going to be a moment in time, and when she stalled, that was all it took.
Okay, so the stall.
So that's why he flicked his wrist, and he made it kill her. So he knew what he was doing. It could have been Cain, but
yeah. And I thought it was interesting how you wrote that. I exactly saw like movie moment in my head.
And that's how I write my books. I don't write it from one person's point of view. I jump from point of view exactly because I love movies. I'm a huge movie buff, and when I watch a movie, that's how I wanted you to read my book. And so when you read it, you can see it all happening exactly how it's written.
Yeah.
So
you do well with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everyone who's read my book has always said, like, hey, I can see it as it's happening. That's the goal. So
yeah.
Whereas, I did it.
Yeah, and that's interesting. Like, yours very much do read like a movie, but I've noticed interesting with Vanessa Kramer's, when I read her books, it feels like I'm reading a dream. So it's an interesting difference. It's an author voice thing. So it's just an interesting noticing the differences.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. And if you watch her interview, it's very much, her books are inspired by her dreams. So it kind of carries over.
And I love movies, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's cool author personality thing. You can read in, it's there for you if you notice it. That was a cool thing. So I know on social media you mentioned there's going to be, and you've said here, there's going to be 4 books. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a 4-book series. So are you just going to stick to this world, or are you going to keep writing and doing other things?
Oh, you mean like after this is all said?
Yeah, after the 4 books, are you going to like build around the world, or are you going to move on to something?
So the 4th book will end to where there is going to be a possibility of future Spartan books.
Okay.
So it's not going to be the end all be all, but everything is going to wrap up in book 4 for this timeline.
Okay.
For these people. And as far as a book outside of this, the first book that I have in mind that I'm going to be writing is going to be based off of the movie Labyrinth and the Goblin King, but instead of having him be a Goblin King, he's going to be Morpheus, which is the king of dreams.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
So yeah, he's going to be the god of dreams,
Okay.
and it's going to be about a woman, and I can't really go into much detail.
You don't want to
beyond
spoil too much.
that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a woman who's going to have her husband taken from her, and she's going to ask to have someone taken from her, and it's going to be her husband, and she's going to be like, I did not ask you to take my husband. And they're going to kind of get into it, her and Morpheus, and he's going to be like, you asked me to. And she's like, that's not who I asked you to. And then he's like, you're going to have to get him back. And then she's going to have to go on this whole big adventure to get her husband, to save her husband from the god of dreams, or else he's just going to be stuck in the dream world forever.
Okay.
So and if you've ever seen Labyrinth, she goes on a journey in a labyrinth, and she meets people that, or I guess creatures that help her along the way. And so in my book, it'll be very much along the same path, but it's going to be based on Labyrinth. And
I need to see those. I haven't seen those either. I was holding that off. I just,
oh my
I'm definitely
okay, so here's the thing.
Homeschooler.
If you watch well, my kids are homeschooled, and we've seen.
I said sheltered homeschooler.
Okay, that's okay. But yeah, we've definitely seen Labyrinth, and if you watch it as a kid, it's gonna hit different as an adult. As an adult, you might be like, "This is weird and crazy," because it's about a Goblin King who's like, the whole movie, like, there's songs in it, and it's kind of like a musical theater thing.
Okay.
And it's got Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
It's out there, but I was raised like it's a me thing. Just it's like in my soul.
If I watched Neverending Story again, it would probably have similar.
It's very much the same vibe.
Okay.
Neverending Story, yes, very much. Yeah, they're kind of all in the same category.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, you're gonna kind of keep building in this world, but like, the story's gonna end in 4 books.
Yes, the story's gonna end in 4 books. With all these people. Yes.
Okay. I was also trying to get an idea of like the future. Like, are you going to call it quits after the 4, or are you going to keep working on it?
No, it is 4 books said and done for this. I'm not saying that it won't go into the future for who these are or their kids or something.
But they might cameo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So
but for right now, this is my idea, is to just do the 4 books, be done, said and done, do the Labyrinth book, and then go from there. So
okay.
That's still 3 books away?
Yeah.
Because I'm 60,000 words into book 3. So.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm just wanting to get an idea of like what more to look for. And like, even if people watch this interview and wanted to get more of your stuff, like, I know some people like, I'm just writing this book, that's all I want to do. And some people are like, I'm only going to write in this world and I'm going to be done. But some people are like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. So I'm just trying to see where people are.
Wherever my creative mind takes me, I have no start or finish. I didn't even know I was going to do this. I just kind of did it for fun. And then it turned into like 108,000 words of fun.
Yeah.
So, and then I got to escape my children, because I love my children, but they are homeschooled, and I'm a stay-at-home mom since COVID. And they shut down all the daycares. So I had 4 kids under the age of 5 or 6.
Yep.
It was a lot. So I had to stay at home. And so it's just nice to get an escape. And then it's nice for them to see mommy works. And so they're like, Mom's an author. Yeah. That's pretty cool, because my kids love to read.
Okay.
They're avid readers. Mid-Continent Library, like, huge readers. We do the summer program.
Uh-huh.
We do the D&D nights.
Okay.
So we do D&D up at summer. So, yeah.
That's good.
Lex Lauer. Ooh, how do you say her name? Lex. She does the D&D nights up at Blue Springs North.
Okay. So I hadn't been to any of those.
Oh, it's so fun. I can't do D&D because I can't think on the spot.
Okay.
I very much thrive in an environment like this where you can sit and think.
Okay.
And take years if you need to.
But off the cuff, you're not as quick. Okay.
Nope.
I can do
I'm
both,
comical. I can, and lots of things come out of my mouth wrong, and just.
You could build a character around that.
I could.
And yeah, I'll leave her. So if you like the interview, like Isley Rose here, like her book stuff, I'll leave the website, everything else like that below. And just with that, I'll remind you, God loves you and wants to spend forever with you.